Well, here it is, December 31st, and I wanted to do a short update so that you could see how the process is proceeding, and then talk about a couple of other products that we might be able to add in to making things work. But to begin with, I wanted to show you that even a blind sow finds an ear of corn. I accidentally tipped this thing over, and it's going to be kind of hard to get down here, but I think you can see that even a simple little bit of cover can go a long ways to growing things. Now these are just oxalis, but can you get a picture of that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a double dome there if you want to see how to do a quickie double dome on the outside to protect something in an emergency when you have a really cold weather. Right now, tonight's going to get down to 11, tomorrow's going to get down to 9. Remember, I'm in Albuquerque, but we're at about a mile high, so we get a little bit of Arctic air in through here during the winter time as well. So while we don't have the big cold snow that you have back east, we're now experiencing some cold weather. So let's go out to the garden and I'll show you another example. Now, earlier I talked about a really good insulation cover for cold frames. Whether you've got a great big one like I have, or even if you've got a small one. What I have is the fish pond liner that I can pull over it. I can put a couple of layers of cloth underneath it to give me some insulation, extra insulation, depending on how cold you get. Even in Mongolia, they put it about this thick, but it works. And this membrane that goes over it will cut the air infiltration down by a whole lot, and of course gives us another R in covering it. So now let's go to the greenhouse, and things are really moving along here in the greenhouse. I just discovered this, but when I'm working out in the greenhouse or outside when it's really cold, my hands get wet, so my hands get cold really quick. And these little plastic gloves really worked kind of nice this morning when I was out just fiddling around. Got my covers. Things are growing real well. As I told you, the bok choy is going to want to go to bloom. You can come in and take these out. It'll continue to grow. These are really tasty. You're going to like them. I have to leave the lights on now longer than I want because I don't have any real light coming in. So during these really cloudy days, I leave the lights on and well into the night. And so I'm just asking for blooms, and I get a few. But most of them are coming along. I've been harvesting out of here. I want you to see how the tomatoes are coming on. These are tiny Tims, and they're rooting well. I'm sorry. They're rooted well. They're liking it in this. They're doing well. I just barely begin to see where I think we might have a bud forming there. These will surprise you. Tiny Tim's a really good winter tomato. And you can see the difference between how much light they got and how much light they didn't get. And with these bulbs, you don't have to worry about burning. Yeah, it's about just under 60 here, about 55 in the greenhouse right now. And but I do want to show you this. This was another thing that we talked about. Again, I like these. Inside of here, we're at about 70 degrees right now. And what we have here is the pad, and I have it lifted up.
What pad is that now?
This is that heat pad that we showed you earlier. I've got 2 frames here that I'm going to be planting in, and because my soil is 70 degrees, the seeds are really going to sprout fast. And by keeping this over, my nighttime temperature is going to stay pretty good. So you can see this gains us about 10 degrees. So if my coldest temperature tonight, I'm expecting it to get down to about 50. It'll probably still stay up here about 65 in here, and I can shut these vents up a little bit more so I can hold my heat in there a little bit better. A little orange tree, it's just loving it in here, and it's just doing really, really well. Just to show you that it can be done. And I got it kind of tucked back here where it is sure to get a little bit of extra light from the reflection, and it's also warmer. The other day we looked at here. These are ready to eat. I clipped these off the other day for a salad, and left about half of them. So I've got 4 salads in this area, and I need to replant. These are about 2.5 weeks old. I've got new seedlings coming on, getting started. I've been harvesting off of my lettuce. I've been harvesting the bok choy. Now, I'm going to try an experiment. I cut the bok choy off just above the last bud, thinking maybe these might resprout. I don't know, so I'm going to give that a try. This is my latest bok choy, and a lot of it's wanting to go to bloom. These blooms are really tasty, though. This was just a little transplant 3 or 4 weeks ago, and boy, look at it here. I mean, they come on really fast. You just have to keep going, keep it going. Here's a harvest, and then some new bok choy coming on back there. I took most of the lettuce out of here, and I've taken a lot of the dill out of here. What's really surprised me is I've been able to continually harvest off of this turnip for a while. So I didn't just strip it. I went ahead and just been harvesting. You can see it's kind of cut back and it's coming back. Down below here, things are growing slower, but I've got some new lettuce coming on, and I've got the Siberian kale. They're coming down. I can pull that kale up and grow it real fast here anytime I want to. Okay, we mentioned reflection once before, and this is out in front of my greenhouse. I found a piece of aluminum that was 4 by 8 that I've put out here in the front to kind of get more light to that lower tier on the inside of the greenhouse. This will add about another 1/3 of the amount of light going in there. There's lots of ways of doing it. This is a material that you can buy Lowe's or any place. It's just this insulation material that you can tape and make a reflector out of this. This can be really useful in a smaller cold frame during the day to add more light down into your cold frame during these low angle light days. We'll probably do something like that to demonstrate it, but we're getting tonight's supposed to get down to about what is it going to get down to 9 or 7, and so we're trying to get ready for the depth of winter. I have put in, remember I've got some heat pads going in there that I'm going to be starting seed on, but if you don't have those, the temperature inside is going to be too cold to get seed up going. So right now we just keep our plants growing and going. We'll have enough to get us through this January, early February time, and then begin to really get production again going in the early spring. So this reflection is going to help us with that kale down below, and with some of the other things in the future here. It just throws enough light in there at these lower angles to make a big difference. So anyway, there are lots of ways of doing it, and getting as much light on your plants this time of day, or this time of year. This is the evening of the 31st now. So it's getting awful cold out here, so we're going to go in.